We need to figure out. Good morning. It's Friday. It's SJU. I think you guys asked some of the questions on this page. I'm not sure. Joe, Dan, Spencer, rocks. We're talking Glass today. We're talking stunt teams and if they should be nominated for Oscars. That'll be a short conversation. Yes. We're going to talk about the Us trailer a little bit that came out a few weeks ago that we never talked about because we were with our families. But we do rightfully have some catch up after spending time with our families. I don't know. We're probably going to talk about Spider-Man, Masked Singer check-ins. I'm just looking at keywords on the questions, guys, because we were talking about Wario and Waluigi and how they relate to Mario and Luigi instead of me setting the script that I am about to do live. Story number one, how big will Glass open this weekend? This is via Deadline. And fan Jay Ree. Just a nice little collab between Jay Ree and Variety. I like it. He asked, Glass looks to be pretty divisive with critics. Maybe not Last Jedi level, but still.
Last Jedi was not divisive with critics.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, if you look at the
that's
numbers,
a divisive
I'm
statement.
just saying that's not.
And now the comments are all Last Jedi.
It's not technically true.
It's already too late.
Audiences, yes.
We actually don't have to talk about Glass now. You guys can talk about whatever you want, and the comments are just going to be Last Jedi.
And Glass is actually, the Last Jedi.
Glass is actually not very divisive with critics either. Most of them don't like it.
Okay.
Not this critic. But
regardless, Jay Ree asks, do you think it will open bigger than Split, or will reviews hurt it?
That's a great question.
So Universal's calling the Thursday night for M. Night Shyamalan's Glass at $3.7 million in 3,200 theaters, which would make the director's top preview night ever. Beating The Last Airbender's $3 million, what a sad sentence, and coming in way ahead of Split's $2 million previews. At that level, sources are expecting the 4-day run for Glass to run somewhere in like the $50 million range. It carries a production cost in the low $20 million. It was completely financed by M. Night. Its tracking into the weekend indicated a strong interest across all demographics. Shock, the superhero movie by M. Night Shyamalan, tracked strongly in males across the ages of 17 and 34.
Okay,
which
that tracks.
Really blows me away. What a shocking demographic to want to go see this movie. Man, boys love the thing. Glass has a 35% Rotten Tomatoes score currently. Split opened with a $40 million to an eventual $1.3 million domestic run and nearly $280 million globally. So a lot of opinions flying around about this movie. Do you guys think it will help, hurt box office? And are those opinions necessarily justified? I don't know. Dan, you got thoughts?
Well, I mean, I can't argue on whether the opinions are justified or not. I think it's a different movie. I would take the under. I don't think because of the reviews. I think because of audience reaction. I don't think this is the movie necessarily that a lot of people are going to expect. That was refreshing for me personally. Not talking about Star Wars. That was refreshing for me, but I think it's going to be the opposite for a lot of people, especially because I think even of the critics that liked Glass, I might still be one of the ones that liked it the most, because a lot of the positive reviews are just like, yeah, it's okay, but whatever, it's just good enough. But I really liked it. However, this is not a superhero film in the tradition that I think a lot of audiences have grown to expect. So I do think maybe the Monday particularly, grosses are going to come down a little bit, because this is not a 4-quadrant thing that everyone's going to walk out of going like, yeah, like it is weird. And I think even among people that like M. Night Shyamalan, even among people that might like what he's doing in this film, I think even among that camp, there's going to be people that like it and don't like it. So
you say there's no Venom potential of a movie that is critically not panned but disliked, and then fan and word of mouth spreads and it just becomes a gigantic hit.
I think that there will be some massive fans of this movie, but not as many as happened with, for example, Venom. Venom was a very big crowd pleaser. It was funny. It still had big action. It still had a lot of the superhero things. And Glass has action, but it's not the same kind of like audience-driven thing necessarily. I
Right.
think it's a different kind of movie, and I don't know if it's if it were marketed the way that it is, I don't know if it would be tracking the way that it
But
is.
what
if
if
that makes sense.
the Chinese marketing campaign has like a chibi, like babyfied Sam Jackson making out with a tiny Bruce Willis?
Oh, first of all, I want to
might
see that more than anything, really now. And yeah, that's very possible.
It is
Well,
possible.
let me take it to this side of the table. Is there irony in Glass not performing well because M. Night made a movie that isn't what people expected it to be?
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
I agree with Dan that it wasn't what I expected it to be. It wasn't even what I wanted it to be going into it. But once I ditched that attitude about 10 minutes in, because it was very clear it wasn't the movie that I was expecting, I was really into it. I thought it was very strong. I liked it a lot. I think that what's going to hurt this movie, I know, bizarre. What's going to hurt this
stuff to
movie,
start
though,
falling.
I don't think you can see this movie without having seen both Unbreakable and Split.
Yeah, you're not going to appreciate it.
You're not going to appreciate it, and I would even go as to say you're not going to understand what's happening. It is confusing enough, and a lot of people are saying it's so confusing. I didn't get it. And I saw both movies. That's crazy. I don't understand how you could be that confused about it if you've seen both movies. But if you haven't seen both of the movies, I would not recommend going to see
You're
this
lost.
film. Yeah.
You're lost in space if you haven't seen Unbreakable and Split. And even Split, there were things brought in that I had to be like, wait, because I hadn't seen it, I think, since we did the Honest trailer, which was a couple years ago. I had to be like, okay, wait a minute. Like, okay. Like, now I remember. Like, it draws deep into the well of, like, this, and that's one of the things I liked about the movie was it tied so closely to the other ones that it felt like it was part of that, but not in the accessible way that, like, some of the MCU movies can be, which is like you briefly kind of rattle off something that happened and that's all you need to know. Like, this is almost like the third part of a painting. Like, you got to know the other two parts.
Is it sort of unfairly saddled with expectations, this movie? Because no one expected anything really, maybe out of Unbreakable because it was his follow-up out of Sixth Sense, but certainly no one expected anything out of Split.
No.
And
What-
so
It's
no
been so
one looked
long.
at, I don't think anyone looked at Split's, success kind of critically. Everyone just kind of went, oh, welcome back, sir.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden this one has expectation on it. Like, so I mean, is this going to fail based on people's like expectations stacked on it, or is this going to do fine for a good M. Night Shyamalan movie?
There's
I'm the only one who hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
There's
So, ask Dan.
there's this weird revisionist history going on that when Unbreakable came out, that it was hailed as this masterpiece.
It was
this,
not.
This,
I
this
can't speak to that.
deconstruction
No.
of the genre.
Yeah, people
no,
were
that's
disappointed.
so like people just like, oh yeah, Unbreakable's great. It was always considered M. Night Shyamalan's best movie. It was very much not considered. Like, I remember
Yeah.
when Unbreakable came out, people were disappointed. Like, not everyone, a lot of people were very disappointed with
That was-
Unbreakable
that was
because it
the
wasn't what they expected it to be.
That was the second time I ever walked out of a movie with a group of people, and I was like, yeah! And everyone was like, what in the hell was that? That was the second.
And the other one, Coyote Ugly.
Mars
Yeah.
Attacks.
Oh, there you go.
I walked out of Mars Attacks
Yeah.
like, that was brilliant! And everyone was like, that was the worst.
Yeah.
And you walked out of Coyote Ugly going, can't fight the moonlight!
Okay.
I love
Can't
that
ever
movie.
fight the moonlight.
Always
I mean,
love that
you
movie.
can't.
Oh, yeah.
You really
You can't.
can't. You can't fight
It's
it.
impossible.
Speaking
It's
of
physically
facts,
impossible.
Leon understands things that we
Roxy,
don't.
best part of Coyote Ugly.
Oh, on the bar dancing. Are you kidding me? That movie's so fire.
Spencer, John Goodman, best performance in Coyote Ugly? Career?
Yes, easily. But blows John Goodman out of the water is the guy who's really excited to get sprayed by water. But he goes out to a bar and he's like, water!
I haven't seen Coyote
get
Ugly
that.
in a
They
long
hit him
time.
with the water gun and he's really excited about it.
It's really
Worth a
fun.
rewatch.
When was the last time everyone at this table saw Coyote Ugly? Dan?
I don't know.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it
okay.
when it came out.
I think
It's
I saw
probably
it in
the last
high
time I
school.
saw it.
Dan,
Yeah,
what's your
yeah,
Coyote
yeah.
Ugly bartender name?
How do you find out? Is it like,
It's like your
street
street
name?
you grew up in, your pet's name?
Sure.
That's
Your
porn
first
star
pet's
name.
name? Oh.
It's, yeah.
How about street name in the first place you worked?
Are we going to give our street names?
I'm
mean, your
I am
childhood- your
not
childhood
giving
street
away
name.
any childhood information on the
Yeah,
air.
nothing that's like a
not
security
happening.
question
No.
resetting a
Third
password.
grade oh, they're all security questions.
Yeah.
Third grade teacher and son of a bitch. Okay, moving on. We've talked about Glass. Yeah,
Sure,
We talked
yeah.
about Glass.
I
Does
was in
anyone
the
have any
middle of a point
closing
about
thoughts on?
Glass,
Oh,
but
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't even remember what I was talking
Sorry,
about
Dan,
anymore.
can't fight the moonlight.
My basic point being that there was an assumption that Unbreakable was always considered
Thank
to be
you.
this
We're
great
back.
movie, and that's not true. That over time, Unbreakable earned its reputation, and I suspect, maybe not on as big a scale, but it's the same thing as me with Glass. Unbreakable also, by the way, I think was considered by a lot of people to be a bit of a box office disappointment for M. Night Shyamalan because it did pretty good, but not as good, nearly as good as The Sixth Sense, and I think that the same thing might happen with Glass. But it cost $20 million because smartly, this is the kind of movie that you make for $20 million because you're going to make your money back, but there's no pressure for it to be massive.
I'm actually kind of hopeful that fans will really like this movie. And maybe that's just because I like it. But I don't know. Typically when I don't think that the problems that... I usually like movies that other people dislike. We all know that, right? But the problems in this movie, I don't see people being like, oh, that movie's worthless then. I think that I would like to see this end up with like a 78 audience score. I think it can.
Okay.
I feel hopeful.
The most cynical part of me blames
What is it
Infinity
about now?
War movies for people going in and being like, "Where's all the punching?" and the Guardians aren't in this, and I'm disappointed.
Well,
now.
it's being marketed that way too, though. It's being marketed as a superhero throwdown movie, and while
yeah,
there
Sam
are
Jackson being
elements
like
of
the
that
bad guys
in
are
it,
going to team up. and-
It's not that. I'm gonna predict a cinema score of. I'm gonna say C.
Wow. He's calling
okay,
it here.
okay,
Let's
okay.
revisit.
Isn't
Because,
that
yeah, I
nice?
am walking in expecting to see a lot of McAvoy galloping around on all fours.
I feel like a 78's a C, C plus.
Yeah, C+.
You'll
you know
pass?
what? You still pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still pass. You still get a degree.
But not your scholarship, probably.
No, probably. Yeah, you do. You lose your scholarship, but you get it. You get your degree, and then you have to get a job at Best Buy to help you pay tuition.
Not a
So
bad
my
place.
Coyote Ugly last name is Best Buy. Guys, if you want some more Glass talk, Kim Taylor Foster, one of our cohorts at Fandom, actually got a chance to sit down with M. Night Shyamalan. They sort of broke down a couple of pivotal scenes from Split. So that article is in the description. Please make sure you check it out. She's great. It's great. You're great. It'll all work really well together. Story number 2 is just fan questions. I should have read ahead before I said it out loud. Taylor asks, do you guys believe that Stunt Work should be nominated for Oscars?
Fan questions?
Oh, we did it.
Yeah.
JT, you move quick. JT was not in the booth, so I assumed no graphic was going to come, and then suddenly he was just there.
He also
just
seemed pretty
appeared.
bummed out when he walked out here. I don't know if it was just our faces or
Yeah.
what.
Did you run out of chips?
No, I'm trying to make sure you were going to do something good.
He's trying to-
Okay.
He's just mumbling at us. I just heard grumpy mumbling. It's like the teacher in
He like
Peanuts.
walked out and looked at us and was like,
It's Friday, JT, cheer up.
We really disappointed JTE. Let's get back to stunt teams.
Yes, they should be
Academy
nominated
attention?
for Academy Award.
Yeah, I dig that. Is
Oh, Dan got a
No,
concerned
it's not. It's not a no. It's like I'm thinking because I agree that stunt performers are an integral part of the team of any movie. But I do subscribe a little bit to, and you can already put this on awards, a little bit to like, okay, well, if you single out stunt performers, then why not this part of the performance or this part of the gaffers? Why not? You know, because they're just as integral to the team. So I do think that stunt work should be recognized.
It is interesting to me what we do and do not, because sound mixing is recognized,
Yep.
but is lighting recognized now
Yeah.
that I'm saying that?
Well,
out loud?
cinematography,
It is.
Oh,
but
cinematography.
that goes to the cinematographer, not the actual electricians and everyone that put
Yeah.
the lights
Don't
out.
they give
you
some
know.
Oscars, though, off the broadcast?
yeah.
Not anymore. Well, they're
The
going to
master
start,
electrician,
Okay.
but not
Oscar.
No,
Crafty.
they're all.
Crafty.
They have like the scientific and technical awards,
Yeah.
but those are for
Crafty
like
was dope.
achievements, like someone invented a new lens or someone
Yeah.
invented a new visual
Okay.
effects
Okay.
method. Not like best electrician. The nominees are
I don't feel, and I'm not the person who's voting anyway, so it doesn't matter, but they're all so good. I don't know how I would pick that. Like, I don't know how watching films I'd be like, that stunt person. Because if
Yeah.
they're doing their job as well as they are, you don't know when, like, you don't see it.
I think it should be
So-
for the whole
Right.
team. I don't think it should just be for the
For one
performer.
person. Okay.
Yeah. Just give it to the entire. You'd nominate the stunt team from Mad Max Fury Road, the
Yeah,
stunt team
from Atomic Blonde,
Atomic
from
Blonde.
sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just think it also opens the question to that there's so much collaboration and method now, particularly with Fury Road. Like the stunts in Mad Max Fury Road looked incredible, and some of them were practical, but some of them were also aided by CGI, either by replacing backgrounds or taking out wires, stuff like that. So where does the line blur between, well, this part of it was the stunt team and this part of it was the visual effects team?
Well, that's where
but it
you-
also it's just
That's
like,
where you hope having people who do this for a living are the voting block, because who can separate acting from writing from directing and stuff like that. Like,
I
it's
agree
not
with
easy.
that. I think more awards should be paneled and juried
Yeah.
in the sense that, like, I'm not qualified to vote on like who the best pediatrician of the year was, because I don't know anything about medicine or pediatrics, nor do I know all of the pediatricians. They have people that decide these things, and I feel like a lot of times throwing the doors wide open for everybody to vote on craft awards. Sometimes it becomes, like we say, most cinematography, most art direction,
Most
most
costumes.
costume
Most
design.
makeup.
Yeah.
Whereas
Most special effects.
most special effects, which is weird. That's why I love the year that Ex Machina won over Force Awakens for visual effects, because I think that while they both had great effects, like the effects in Ex Machina were oftentimes invisible, which makes them incredibly underrated.
I agree with that. Sometimes I think the special effects award can turn into this movie had the most money to spend award. So yeah, I do like it when little upsets like that happen. Microstatic asks, with Spider-Man now traveling to Europe in the new Spider-Man movie, what other American film characters would you guys like to see travel over the pond and explore Europe, and where would they go? I like this weird question.
Deuce Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow.
Well,
he's already been a
there.
European
He has
gigolo.
been to Europe.
He just started a trend.
He fit in
Spider-Man
seamlessly.
Is fitting
Oh,
in with
yes.
Deuce Bigelow.
God, yeah.
Following in
Copying
the,
Deuce
in
Bigelow.
the
We should pull
suede
the Deuce
footsteps of
Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow.
Do we feel like it should just be more Rob Schneider characters? Should the you can do it guy just go to Europe?
Start naming them. Let's see how far we get.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Making copies.
And we're done.
We are done.
Judge Dredd.
Grumpy
Yeah,
guy on
guy.
Twitter that doesn't like these young people.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Go to Europe.
He's
Oh,
in,
Judge Dredd. Yeah, you're right.
the other
Carrot.
a carrot. He's in Demolition Man.
Is it? Oh, a Demolition
Is
Man.
he?
Did I say Judge Dredd? I meant Demolition Man.
I-
Or is
he
he
might be in both.
I think is he in both?
might
He's in
be in
both,
both.
isn't he?
He's in both.
He's in both.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
JT,
JT.
our resident Sylvester Stallone expert.
Who is he in Demolition Man?
He's like one of the, the cops.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch Demolition
Yes,
Man.
all
I
of you
just
do.
did, and I already forgot.
I think he makes fun of him for the 3 shells.
Oh,
He
okay.
might be that guy.
First
Okay.
Coyote Ugly, though. Let's get our priorities straight.
Yes,
Is the cast of Coyote Ugly gonna go to Europe?
definitely.
They got great bars in Europe.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I'd love to see a Formula One movie with Ricky Bobby.
Yes, that's the natural sequel.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I think that's the natural sequel. You bring Sacha Baron Cohen back. You bring Farrell back. I mean, it can't be worse than Holmes and Watson, right?
Ooh.
We already have a low bar.
Is there any non-comedy we would like to see this with? Or is this just set up for a comedic?
Comedy or superhero or something like
Yeah.
that.
It lends itself to comedy, but
This is the only way I see a sequel to 8th Grade working is high school graduate, the high school graduate age of. Sorry, I just lost the main character's name as I started speaking.
Yeah, I
'cause
can't think
me.
of it either.
Yeah.
But
I love that
her first like trip abroad before going to college. That's the only way I see a sequel to 8th Grade working.
Okay.
You asked a question.
I mean, The Godfather
Write it
2
down.
perfected it. They sent Vito to Europe, and the adventures he got into.
He really did,
He
man.
got into some scrapes.
Oh, he got into
Over
some
there.
good scrapes. Remember when that car blew up? Yeah, there's some good times. Good times in The Godfather 2.
Oh yeah, they sent Pacino to Europe in the first
Yeah.
one too. That's Godfather, and they went to Europe in the third one. Godfather. That whole franchise
They
is just like a
perfected the Euro trip. Yeah,
they
yeah,
really did. All over the
perfected
place.
the Euro
Italy,
Sicily.
the Vatican.
Nailed it. They really saw the breadth of it. Roxy Wilt 582 asks, if you were on The Masked Singer, what would your costume be?
It's a good one.
But this is the TV show where
Wait,
you're.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
where
wear
you
the weird
sing.
mask.
You're in
Dan will tell you
you're
all
in an
about it.
elaborate costume.
Dan's
Yes.
designed his already.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know.
Oh, good design.
I
good
was
design.
thinking of.
Teletubby?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Teletubby's good.
That'd be cool.
I
Probably Lala.
Okay.
I was always a big
Yeah.
fan.
I would be down to just hear Nick Cannon just be like, up next, Teletubby takes on Bird.
Yeah. I think I'd be Shark.
Teletubby
Yeah, you
versus
would be
Shark.
Shark.
I'd be
Okay,
Shark.
Cool.
That'd be mine.
Spencer?
Well, I'd want to really make it difficult for the judges, and just be like, like box of fish sticks or something where you couldn't really get my gait or my size down from context clues.
I like that.
So yeah, I think I'd be Uncle Ben's rice box.
I like it.
Intamans.
Yeah, Entenmann's donuts
How is this
package.
different in the voice when they're spun around and they can't see
So the
you?
point of this show is just trying to figure out who's under the mask. That's the point. Not who's best,
I
not
think
who's
I
win.
saw this.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
singing wearing elaborate costumes,
Right.
so you can't
And
see
they're
who
all
they are.
celebrities,
Yeah.
but
And they're all
you
They're all
don't know who.
celebrities. All right.
And not celebrities, but like
They're celebrities who
Celebrities.
said yes.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Actually, from what I've seen, they're like Dancing with the Stars season 2 or 3, not where Dancing with the Stars is now. Like sometimes I read like, here's this month's contestants on Dancing, and I'm like,
But I'm
that?
excited for
Who are these
the
people?
I think Masked Singer's on the come up, that people are going to see how popular this is and how much speculation there is, and more stars will sign up in
I
the first
think
season.
so. But
Or
it's gonna be so
masked
secretive.
dancer. And like it's so hard to see, and these elaborate
Yeah.
masks are just falling all over the place. Yeah, it's like, whoop.
What is the best costume they've done so far?
Peacock.
They're all great. Oh, but
Peacock?
I like Peacock.
Oh, Peacock's good.
It's got the most
I thought
personality.
Deer was cool, even though the singer wasn't good. It was a cool costume. Dan or Joe, what's your persona?
My
Persona. I like it.
I want to actually. I think it'd be fun to just dress as the robot from Interstellar.
Tars?
Yeah,
Tars.
you're just a big black rectangle, and then someone has to wheel you out, and you don't move. All right. Yeah, I think that's what I'd go with. Andrew asked, "What's your favorite ending?" This is a small question. You guys have your answers really queued up, ready to go. Andrew asked, "What's your favorite ending in a movie or series finale?"
Wow.
Rocks?
I have two for series. I don't know mine for movie. My all-time favorite ending for a show is Friends. Surprise, surprise. I think that they nailed it. It was perfect. But my recent favorite would be The Americans. I don't know if anybody here watched it, but the way that it ended was you just had no idea how they were going to get out of how they had twisted and turned, and you didn't know, and it was so perfect that I would never want to see the show in the future because it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. So those two are my favorite series finales.
Right on. Mr. Merle.
Poetic movie endings. I love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's a great one.
As far as just like smash cut to title endings, I still love. What's your name, son? Murphy. Boom. RoboCop. Sorry. Murphy. RoboCop. I love that. Like that's great. As far as TV shows, Star Trek: The Next Generation. I love the series finale of Star Trek: The Next Generation, particularly the last scene. Great. I thought they wrapped that show up really well. Breaking Bad, obviously, one of the ones that people talk about. The arc of the last season I had some issues with, but I think they resolved everything extremely well. Those are the ones that jump to mind.
Right on. Spencer?
Yeah, as far as just, I'd have to go look back, but Friday Night Lights stands out of him just kind of starting over in a new town, and you just want to, I mean, you know it's going to be okay, but you just want to watch that season of the show and to see him
That was great.
keep going and, you know, clear eyes, full hearts. And
Can't
then
lose.
but he's like, we'll get to that. That was beautiful. And then, I don't know, like you said, The Godfather. The Godfather is one of the best endings of all time. So
Especially 3.
especially 3. The way
That's
they
what
go
they all
to Europe
say,
in that
yeah.
movie. But yeah, the door closing is just like such a nice match to the beginning of the movie. And you know, like Harold and Maude I like a lot, where it's the movie starts with a suicide fake out and it ends with one, but like for a very different reason, which I thought was interesting. It's cool when they mirror each other, when the first and last scene are the same, but different.
Nailed it. I was gonna give some love to Burn After Reading.
Oh, I love
one
Burn
of my
After
that's a
Reading.
great
Favorite
yeah.
weird endings where it's just two guys at a desk like, well, what the hell was any of this about? And there's, I don't know.
I love
know.
that's a great ending.
And everyone just shrugs at each other and, and it
credits.
ends.
What did we learn? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, no, I dig that one. Series, I know we've talked about The British Office a couple of
Oh,
times,
yeah.
and that ending, I
I
think
mean,
that's one of my
that's-
favorite TV show endings of all time.
Goodbye, Michael was the best series finale that wasn't a series finale from the American Office.
the American
The
Office.
way that they sent Steve Carell out. If they
Perfect.
would have just ended with will you guys tell me if this ever airs? Like that. Oh God, I watched that episode and I'm like, just stop right there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
No.
Their actual finale was pretty good too.
The actual finale was pretty good.
Between those two episodes. Woo-hoo.
They were a little rough those last couple seasons, yeah. Particularly right after he left, the whole Will Ferrell things did not work at all. And Idris Elba, James Spader, a little shot in the arm, just because that character was so weird. But then
not the actual ending of the season, but the last episode of Barry. If you haven't watched Barry, it's just a really fantastic episode of television. They don't do like massive things happen, but in very like small ways, if that makes sense. There's this amazing dinner scene where this is a show about everyone keeping secrets from each other, and there's this incredible dinner where no one's talking about secrets or anything like that or directly like confronting each other, but you're just watching this scene. You actually have to go back and watch it a few times, and you're just like, oh, that's when this person figured out this and that person figured out that, and they just clicked, and it's a great scene.
I hope in 6 months we'll be sitting here talking about how great the ending of Game of Thrones was.
Hopefully.
Yes, fingers crossed. I really want them to stick that landing.
If we're not, then uh-oh.
Yeah, that's uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know what? If we're not, then I can't wait for the reboot. Just can't wait. McSwagger asked, what's the best song that was used in a movie trailer? His would be Johnny Cash's Hurtin' Logan, which was the best way to cut a trailer to that movie.
It's not fair to use Johnny Cash.
It's kind of cheating, but
that's
like
80% of your work is done for you.
Yeah. Imagine Dragons can't fight the friction for a Mission Impossible. It was good. It was really a really solid trailer though. Any other thoughts? MIA's Paper Planes for
Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express. That's an amazing trailer.
So good.
That was
Yeah,
a
an incredible
perfect
trailer.
song choice.
Recently, I really liked in Vice the I'm the Man.
That's good.
That one was really good.
Yeah.
I love a well-cut trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 Mile. Lose yourself.
Was that in the trailer?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, it was.
It's not fair.
Think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a cheat song. What's that band called? I think they're called The Servant. The music from the Sin City trailer. That was a good one. The song's called Cells. Thank you. Yeah, that's
People
a
liked
that's a good
Suicide
trailer.
Squad's trailer so much that they hired them to cut the whole movie. So
That's true.
What
Yeah.
song
Very,
did they
very
use for
true.
that? Did they use like 8 different songs like the movie?
no, it was now I can't think of it. JT?
Do Trailer Park Girls.
No, what was it? No, I'll get there.
How
we'll
quickly
be
we
off,
forget.
But I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it too. I can't.
I'm trying to think of a movie that wouldn't work with Hurt by Johnny Cash.
Everything would be better with
Everything would be completely like every movie would have a really killer trailer.
Yeah.
That Coyote Uglies would be amazing.
Yes.
That would be a really,
so
really
sad.
good trailer. Michael asked, "What's your least liked Bond movie?"
Ooh, easy.
Quantum.
Die Another Day.
Oh, okay.
Atrocious.
Is that the?
That's the one with the
That's
ice
the
palace.
last Pierce
Is that-
Brosnan
is that
one.
Invisible
Christmas?
Car.
No,
No.
I actually like The World Is Not Enough with Dr. Christmas Jones. A lot of people don't like that movie. I think that's a great campy James Bond movie. No,
Also, I'd like to change my answer for best ending of a film.
Oh.
I thought Christmas only came once a year. Credits. I was like, Mom, what does that mean?
I love that they named that character Christmas Jones for that one joke at the very end of the movie.
Yes.
I have a spot in my heart for The World Is Not Enough for being a stupid, over-the-top James Bond movie. Die Another Day is so bad.
Really dumb.
Stupid and over top in the worst ways. The terrible CG, with the paragliding, the invisible car. Halle Berry's terrible in it. Everything about that. The worst James Bond theme song of all time. That Madonna techno abomination. I hate Die Another Day. And there are some really bad James Bond movies, and I hate Die Another Day. It is the worst.
Whew.
I think at least you can watch it. That's a so bad it's good film probably at this point. And Quantum of Solace is just, it's like in the midst of the writer's strike, just so haphazard, but also kind of towing the line between the gritty Bond they'd set up and fun, and just neither one works.
Yeah.
It's just, and Daniel Craig is miserable per usual.
just frustrated and sad.
Yeah.
Roxy, Bond opinions?
So this isn't my franchise. I've only ever seen one Bond movie, and it's GoldenEye.
Oh.
So it's your least favorite.
So I played the video game growing
Hell
up,
yeah.
I liked that.
What's your least favorite settings for playing GoldenEye?
I don't remember. Gosh, I really don't know. I watched one. I didn't particularly like it, and I just never watched anymore.
That's completely fair.
I would like to. I should do a Bond binge. A lot of them are very outdated, though. And when I watched it, GoldenEye, I was like, I don't love this.
It's a dated film at this point. You can start with the new ones, though.
Yeah,
no.
maybe I should.
It's a very GoldenEye is. It's very 90s.
It was very, very.
Let me
90s.
ask you guys this. Roxy soured on GoldenEye. What are some non-Bond Pierce Brosnan things Roxy can see to redeem Pierce
me.
Brosnan for Roxy
Mrs.
Stryer?
Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Love it.
Doubtfire, very good in
Great
that.
movie.
Dante's Peak, as we discussed
Yep, Dante's
yesterday.
The
Peak.
Superior
Yeah.
Volcano movie.
Oh, The Matador. Did you guys ever see that?
No.
It's like a
Is it
weird.
about the Disney.
No, he's
that's
like
Matterhorn.
it's he's. I think Greg Kinnear's in it too. I might be making that up. It's like this weird assassin movie where he's this like kind of midlife crisis assassin. He has this great little mustache. It's a really, really funny movie. You should check out Matador.
I'm just going to assume he's in Love Actually.
He probably
He's
is.
probably there somewhere.
Yeah, he's in the background when the guy's
Close.
doing the signs.
Close. But
Yeah, he's on that plane.
Isn't he that Art Forger movie that's good?
Oh, the
Thomas Crown
Thomas
Affair.
Crown Affair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With Rene Russo.
Yeah.
I want to say the remake of the Steve McQueen movie.
Roxy, watch all of these
All right,
and then,
I'm on it.
and then
The first Coyote
let us
Ugly.
know if.
And
yeah,
the World's End. Supporting role. But
Oh,
he's good
okay.
in it. He's the
Oh,
teacher.
sorry. At first, I was like, "That sounds like a Bond movie," and I
Yeah,
don't remember that
It
Pierce
does.
Brosnan
It
Bond
does actually
movie.
sound like the Bond movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the World's End. He is
the
supporting
teacher,
role.
you're right.
And he's great.
They do good work with former Bonds. Timothy
They
Dalton
do.
is amazing in Hot Fuzz.
Edgar Wright has said, or Simon Pegg, one of them said that they wish that they had put one in Shaun of the Dead, so that they could have had a former Bond in all three of the Cornetto movies. So it was Dalton, Brosnan, but unfortunately
Not meant to be. Guys, I'd like to end today's show on that melancholy note,
Okay.
if that's okay.
On things that could have been.
Yeah, just things that could have been. Kissy fingers. I'm Joe. That's Dan. That's Spencer. That's Roxy. I hope you have an objectively great Friday. We've got Glass spoiler reviews coming up this weekend. And tomorrow on Screen Junkies Maine, it's the Screenies, the award show that you know.
and
and
love.
love.
Bye, guys. See you
I
Monday.
know what you did.